I would like to welcome you all to our Parvadamidam YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to learn about the chapter from 12th Standard Biozoology book. Chapter 1, Reproduction in Organism. Hello my dear children, can you list out the living attributes of the organisms? Yes, good. Birth, growth, development, maturation, reproduction, death. Usually, these attributes are known as the fundamental features of the living organisms. Whereas, reproduction is the one of the most important fundamental features of the living organisms. But it is not the essential process of living organisms, because without the reproductive ability, some of the living organisms are living in this world. For example, mule, liger, and so on. What is called reproduction? Reproduction is nothing but is the biological process by which the organisms produce the young ones. Otherwise, we can say through this process, all the living organisms are producing the progeny. Okay, can you list out the merits of the reproduction? Good. Reproduction helps to ensure the species continuations, as well as it helps to bring out the variation in the organisms. Next, we are going to learn about modes of the reproduction. All the reproductive modes have some of the basic features like as RNA synthesis, protein synthesis, DNA replication, formation of the reproductive organs, cell division, growth, and so on. Usually there are two major modes of the reproductions are there. One is asexual reproduction, another one is sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, A refers to absence. In asexual reproduction, A refers to absence. Absence of the sexes as well as it does not need to involve the gamete formation and its fusions, because in asexual reproductions a single parent can producing their progeny by amitotic division or mitotic division of the somatic cells. That's why which is always known as the somatogenic cell reproduction or plastogenic reproductions. Asexual reproduction is always known as the somatogenic reproduction or blastogenic reproductions. Why? Because single parent has the ability to produce their progeny by amitotic division or mitotic division of the somatic cells. That's why it is always known as the somatogenic reproduction or plastogenic reproductions. The offspring or the progeny of the asexual reproductions is always known as the clones, because they are genetically identical to their parents. But in sexual reproductions, two parents of the opposite sexes are participating and involving the production and fusion of two types of the gametes. Usually, the male gamete is known as the sperm, whereas female gamete is known as the ova. Through this process, they are producing their progeny. Next, we are going to detailed study about the asexual reproductions. Various kind of the organisms like as protista, bacteria, archaea, even some of the multicellular organisms also involves the asexual reproductions. In asexual reproductions, the progeny shows the or exhibits the uniparental inheritance. Uni refers to single. As I told you, in asexual reproductions, a single parent has the ability to produce their progeny by amitotic or mitotic division of the somatic cells. That's why the progeny does not exhibit any genetic variations. Different modes are present in the asexual reproductions. They are fission, sporulation, budding, gemmule formation, fragmentation, and regeneration. What is called fission? Fission is nothing but breakdown. In fission, the parental body is divided into two or more than the two parts, and each parts are producing the identical daughter individuals. Identical daughter individuals. It has four types. What are they? Binary fission, multiple fission, sporulation, strobilation. In binary fission, bi refers to two. Bi refers to two. In binary fission, the daughter cell is divided into two equal halves. Each half is forms into daughter individuals. Each half is forms into the identical daughter individuals. Whereas the nucleus is first divides by the mitotically or amitotically, then the cytoplasm is divided and produce two genetically identical daughter offsprings. Two genetically identical offsprings. Based on the plane of the division, the binary fission is divided into four types. What are they? Simple irregular binary fission, transverse binary fission, longitudinal binary fission, and oblique binary fission. What is called reproduction? Reproduction is nothing but is the biological process by which the organisms produce the young ones. Otherwise, we can say through this process, all the living organisms are producing the progeny. Okay, can you list out the merits of the reproduction? Good. Reproduction helps to ensure the species continuations as well as it helps to bring out the variation in the organisms. And the nucleus is divides by amitotically or mitotically. Whereas small constriction is present in the middle of the cells. Middle of the cells. Then the cytoplasm is divided into two equal parts. Finally, it producing the two daughter individuals. Next, we are going to learn about transverse fission. In this fission, the plane of division moves along the transverse axis of the organisms. For example, parameciums. In the paramecium, the macronucleus is divided by amitases and the micronucleus is divided by mitases. The next one is longitudinal binary fission. In this fission, the nucleus and the cytoplasm is divided in the longitudinal axis of the organisms. In the flagellates, what is called flagellates? Those kind of the organisms are possess the flagella. In flagellates, the flagellum is usually retained by the one kind of the daughter cells, whereas in parental cells, the basal granule which is found nearby the flagella. In parental cells, the basal granules is divided into two. The new basal granules are forms the flagellum in the another daughter cells. As I told you, the flagellum is retained by the one kind of the daughter cells. In another kind of the daughter cells, the new basal granules is forms the flagella. The last type of the binary fission is known as the oblique binary fission. Because the plane of the division is oblique, that's why it is known as the oblique binary fission. Usually, it is found on the dinoflagellates. For example, Ceratium.
Next, we are going to learn about multiple fission. In multiple fission, the parental bodies divides into many identical daughter individuals at the same times. First, the nucleus is divided into many parts. Laterly, the cytoplasm is divided into many pieces, and each pieces are encircled the nucleus. As a resultant, it forms the many smaller daughter individuals from the single parental body. The multiple fission is always known as the repeated fission because the young ones does not separate until this process is completed. Multiple fission is always known as the repeated fission because this young one does not separate from the parental body until the process is completed. For example, Vorticella.
In Plasmodium, the multiple fission occurs in two places. One is zygote, another one is oocyte stages. The multiple fission occurs in the zygote is known as the zygogony. What is called zygogony? The multiple fission occurs in the zygote is known as the zygogony, and the daughter individuals of the zygogony is known as the merozoites. Daughter individuals of the zygogony is known as the merozoites. If the multiple fission is occurs in the oocyte stages is known as the sporogony. What is called sporogony? If the multiple fission is occurs in the oocyte stages is known as the sporogony, and the daughter individuals of the sporogony is known as the sporozooids. Daughter individuals of the sporogony is known as the sporozooids. During the unfavorable conditions, the amoeba withdraw its pseudopodia and it produces the 3-layer productive chitinous cyst wall and it becomes inactive. This event is known as the encystement. What is called encystement? During the unfavorable condition, amoeba withdraw its pseudopodia and it produces the 3-layer productive chitinous cyst wall and it becomes inactive. It is known as this event is known as the encystement. When the condition becomes favorable, when the condition is become favorable, the encysted amoeba is involving the multiple fission and it produces the many minute amoeba. It is known as the pseudopodiospore or amoebulae. When the cyst wall is absorbed more water and it breaks off for the liberation of the pseudopodiospore, then the pseudospodiospore feed and grow rapidly. Finally, it leads to the independent life. In some metazoan animals, some of the special kind of the transverse fission is occurs. It is known as the strobulation. In this process, many transverse fission is occurs at the same time, which produce the number of the individuals, but they do not separate immediately from each other. What is called strobulation? In some metazoan animals, special kind of the transverse fission is occurs. It is known as the strobulation. In this process, many transverse fission is occurs at the same times, which produce the number of the individuals, but they do not separate from each other. For example, Aurelia. Plasmatomy. Tomy refers to cut or the division. The plasmatomy is nothing but division of the multinucleated parent into the many multinucleate daughter with the karyokinesis. In later, this kind of the karyokinesis helps to maintain the normal number of the nucleus. Already you know, karyo refers to nucleus, kinesis refers to breakdown. Karyokinesis is nothing but division of the nucleus. What is called plasmatomy is a kind of the division of the multinucleated parent into the many multinucleated daughter individuals with the karyokinesis. In later, this karyokinesis helps to maintain the normal number of the nucleus. For example, Palina. During the unfavorable season, amoeba multiplies by sporulation without the encystement. Here, the nucleus is divided into many fragments. Each fragment is developed into the nuclear membrane. And the nuclear membrane is surrounded by the cytoplasms and which is encircled by the spore case. During the favorable conditions, this parental body is degenerate and liberate the spores and which is hatching into the young amoeba. Next, we are going to learn about budding. In budding, the parental body produces one or more buds which are growing into the young ones. For example, sponges. In sponges, a small constriction is formed nearby the budding. With the help of the constriction, these buds are detached from their parental body and grows as the young sponges. Buddings are usually divided in two types. Exogenous budding, another one is endogenous budding. Exo refers to outer surface. In an exogenous budding, the buds are formed outside of the parental body. For example, Hydra. When there is plenty of food, the ectodermal cells of the Hydra, ecto refers to outer surface. The ectodermal cells of the Hydra increases and it forms a small elevation on the body surface. Then the endodermal and ectodermal cells are pushed out to form the bud. These buds contains a continuation in the interior lumen of the parental gastrovascular cavity. These buds contains the continuation of the interior lumen of the parental gastrovascular cavity. Gradually it enlarges in its size and develop the mouth and circle of the tentacles at the free end. After the completion of the growth, the buds makes a small constriction at the base, then which is detached from the parental body, and it leads the independent life. The next one is endogenous budding. Endo refers to inside. For example, Noctulica. In Noctulica, hundreds of the buds are developed inside the cytoplasm, whereas most of the buds remains within the parental body. That's why it is known as the endogenous budding. What is called endogenous budding? For example, in Noctulica, hundreds of the buds are developed inside the cytoplasm, whereas most of the buds remains within the parental body. That's why it is known as the endogenous budding. The next one is gemule. What is called gemule? Gemule is nothing but kind of the endogenous budding. For example, some freshwater sponges and some marine sponges has the peculiar mode of the asexual reproduction is known as the gemule. What is called gemule? Gemule is a kind of the endogenous budding. Some freshwater sponges and marine sponges has the peculiar mode of the asexual reproduction by producing the internal buds is known as the gemule. The fully grown gemule look like as a hard ball. The fully grown gemule look like as a hard ball. The internal mass of the gemule has a foot-laden archocytes. Internal mass of the gemule has the foot-laden archocytes. During the unfavorable conditions, sponges will be degenerate, but the gemule can withstand. In the favorable conditions, gemules begins to hatch. The next one is fragmentation. What is called fragmentation? Formation of the fragment is known as the fragmentation. The parental body. In fragmentation, the parental body divides into many fragments, whereas each fragment has the potential to develop the new individual. This fragmentation is always known as the pedal laceration. For example, sea anemone. In sea anemone, the lobes are constricted out from the pedal disc, whereas the lobes developed the mesenteries and tentacles to form the sea anemone. What is called pedal laceration? Fragmentation is always known as the pedal laceration. In sea anemone, the lobes are constricted out from the pedal disc, whereas the lobes are developed the mesenteries and tentacles to form the new sea anemone. Is called the pedal laceration. What is the scientific name of tapeworm? Taenia solium. Yes, in Taenia solium or in tapeworm, the gravid proclatids are located at the posterior end of the strobila. Gravid proclatids are otherwise known as the oldest proclatid. The gravid proclatids are located at the posterior end of the strobila. Regularly, these gravid proclatids are cut off either in singly or grouply from the posterior end of the strobila by the process of apolysis. What is called apolysis? In Taenia solium or tapeworm, the gravid proclatids are regularly cut off either in singly or grouply from the posterior end of the strobila is known as the apolysis. This process helps to develop the apolysis process helps to transfer the developed embryo from primary host into the secondary host. Man is the primary host, whereas pig is the secondary host. What is the uses of apolysis? The process of apolysis helps to transfer the developed embryo from primary host into the secondary host. Man is the primary host, whereas pig is the secondary host. The next process is regeneration. Regeneration is nothing but regrowth in injured region. What is called regeneration? Re refers to regrowth in injured region is known as the regeneration. In 1970, the regeneration was studied by Abraham Tremblay in Hydra. The regeneration was divided in two types. One is morphollaxis, another one is epimorphosis. Morphollaxis is nothing but the whole body is developed from the small fragment. What is called morphollaxis? In morphollaxis, the whole organisms can develop from the small fragment. For example, Hydra. If you cut the Hydra into the many fragments, each and every fragment has the ability to produce the last part and which is developed into the whole new individual. What is called morphollaxis? The whole individual is developed from the small fragment is known as the morphollaxis. For example, Hydra. In Hydra, if you are cut the Hydra into many fragments, each and every fragment has the ability to produce the last fragment and it developed into the new individual. The another type of the regeneration is known as the epimorphosis. Epimorphosis is nothing but replacement of the last body parts is known as the epimorphosis. What is called epimorphosis? Replacement of the last body parts is known as the epimorphosis. It is furtherly divided in two types. What are they? One is reparative epimorphosis, another one is restorative epimorphosis. One is reparative epimorphosis, another one is restorative epimorphosis. In reparative epimorphosis, some damaged tissue only can regenerate. What is called reparative epimorphosis? In reparative epimorphosis, some damaged tissue only can regenerate. And restorative epimorphosis, in restorative epimorphosis, severed body parts also can develop. For example, starfish, tail wall of lizard. What is called epimorphosis? Epimorphosis is nothing but a replacement of the last body parts is known as the epimorphosis, which is furtherly divided into two types. One is reparative epimorphosis, another one is restorative epimorphosis. In reparative epimorphosis, some damaged tissue only can regenerate, whereas restorative epimorphosis, severed body parts can also develop. For example, starfish and tail wall of lizard. Now we are going to learn about sexual reproduction. What is called sexual reproduction? In sexual reproduction, two parents of the opposite sexes are participating and involving the production and fusion of the two types of gametes. Usually, the male gamete is known as the sperm, whereas female gamete is known as the ova. Through this process, they are producing their progeny or offspring. The progeny of the sexual reproduction exhibits genetic variation, whereas in asexual reproductions there is no genetic variations because the progeny of the asexual reproduction is developed from the uniparental inheritance. Furtherly, the sexual reproduction is divided in two types. One is syngamy, another one is conjugation. Syn refers to fuse, gamy refers to marriage. Syngamy is always known as the fertilization. In syngamy, two haploid gametes are fused to produce the diploid zygote. In fertilization or in syngamy, two haploid gametes are fused to produce the diploid zygote. Based on the place of the fertilization, the syngamy is divided in two types. What are they? One is external fertilization, another one is internal fertilization. What is called external fertilization? External refers to outside. External refers to outside. The male and female gametes in external fertilization, the male and female gametes are fused outside of the female organism. Usually, the external fertilization is occur in the water. For example, fishes, amphibians, and so on. What is called external fertilization? In external fertilization, two gametes are fused in the outside of the female organisms. Usually, external fertilization is occurs in the water. For example, fishes and amphibians. Another one is internal fertilization. Internal refers to inside or within. The male and female gametes are fused within the female body is known as the internal fertilization. What is called internal fertilization? The male and female gametes are fused within the female body is known as the internal fertilization. For example, reptiles and mammals. Next we are going to learn about kinds of the syngamy or types of the fertilization. Usually the fertilization is divided into 7 types. What are they? Autogamy, exogamy, hologamy, pedogamy, merogamy, isogamy and anisogamy. First one is autogamy. Auto refers to same, gamy refers to marriage or fusion. Autogamy exhibit the uniparental fertilization because the male and female gametes are produced by the same parent, then they are fused to produce the diploid zygote. For example, actinosporium or paramecium. What is called autogamy? Autogamy exhibit the uniparental fertilization because male and female gametes are produced from the same parent, then they are fused to produce the diploid zygote. For example, actinosporium and paramecium. The second one is exogamy. Exogamy exhibit the biparental fertilization. Here, male and female gametes are produced from the different parent. What is called exogamy? Exogamy exhibit the biparental fertilization because male and female gametes are produced from the different parent, then they are fused to produce the diploid zygote. For example, human. And third one is hologamy. In some lower organisms, the entire mature organisms do not produce their gametes. That's why the entire mature organisms behave as a gamete. Then they are fused. This kind of the fusion of the entire mature organisms is known as the hologamy. What is called hologamy? In lower organisms, the entire mature organisms do not produce their gamete. That's why they behave as a gamete and they are fused. The fusion of the entire mature organisms is known as the hologamy. For example, trichonimba. And fourth one is pedogamy. Pedo refers to young individual. Gamy refers to fusion. So pedogamy is nothing but sexual union of the young individual produced immediately after the mitotic division of the adult parental cell is known as the pedogamy. What is called pedogamy? Sexual union of the young individuals produced immediately after the mitotic division of the adult parental cell. Fifth one is merogamy. Mero refers to small size. Merogamy is nothing but small sized and morphologically fusion of the small sized and morphologically different gamete is known as the merogamy. What is called merogamy? Fusion of the small sized and morphologically different gamete is known as the merogamy. The next one is isogamy. Iso refers to same. Gamy refers to fusion. Fusion of the morphologically and physiologically similar gametes are known as the isogamy. What is called isogamy? Fusion of the morphologically and physiologically identical gametes or similar gametes is known as the isogamy. For example, monocystase. The next one is anisogamy. Aniso refers to dissimilar. Fusion of the morphologically and physiologically dissimilar gametes are known as the anisogamy. For example, vertebrate and higher invertebrate. The next process of the sexual reproduction is known as the conjugation. What is called conjugation? Conjugation is nothing but temporary union of the two individuals of the same species. Temporary union of the two individuals of the same species is known as the conjugation. At that time, both individuals are known as the conjugants when they are exchanging some amount of the DNA material among themselves. Then they all get separated. For example, paramecium, Oticella, bacteria and so on. Next we are going to learn about the phases of the life cycle. The living organism possesses 3 phases in their life cycle. They are juvenile phase, reproductive phase and senescent phase. First phase is known as the juvenile phase, which is otherwise known as the vegetative phase. The juvenile phase starts at the birth of the individuals. Juvenile phase is nothing but the growth period in between the birth and the reproductive maturity of the individual is known as the juvenile phase. What is called juvenile phase? Juvenile phase is always known as the vegetative phase. The growth period in between the birth and the reproductive maturity of the individual is known as the juvenile phase. This vegetative phase starts from the birth of the individual. The second phase is known as the reproductive phase. The reproductive phase is always known as the maturity phase. The reproductive phase begins at the end of the vegetative phase. What is called reproductive phase? Reproductive phase is nothing but the growth period in between the reproduction of the organisms and the maturity of the progeny is known as the reproductive phase. What is called reproductive phase? The growth period in between the reproduction of the organisms and the maturity of their progeny is known as the reproductive phase. It is always known as the maturity phase, which is begins at the end of the vegetative phase. On the basis of the time, the breeders animals are divided in two types. One is continuous breeder, second one is seasonal breeder. On the basis of the time, the breeder animals are divided in two types. What are they? One is continuous breeder, another one is seasonal breeder. In the continuous breeder, the animals are continues to breed throughout their sexual maturity. In the continuous breeder, the animals are continued to breed throughout their sexual maturity. For example, rabbit, honeybee and so on. In seasonal breeder, the animals are breed at a particular time of the year. In seasonal breeders, the animals are breed at the particular time of the year. For example, frog and bird. The last phase of the life cycle is known as the senescent phase. The senescent phase begins at the end of the maturity phase or the end of the reproductive phase. During this time, the degeneration occurs at the structure and the function of the body. In the senescent phase, degeneration occurs at the structural and functional level of the body. Next, we are going to learn about parthenogenesis. Partheno refers to virgin, Genesis refers to produce. In parthenogenesis, the complete individual is produced from the egg without the fertilization. It was discovered by Charles Ponnet in 1745. What is called parthenogenesis? Partheno refers to virgin, Genesis refers to produce. The complete individual is produced from the egg without the fertilization is known as the parthenogenesis. It was discovered by the Charles Ponnet in 1745. It has two types. One is natural parthenogenesis, another one is artificial parthenogenesis. What is called natural parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis occurs regularly, constantly and naturally in some of the animals, which is known as the natural parthenogenesis. What is called natural parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis occurs regularly, constantly and naturally in some animals are known as the natural parthenogenesis. It has three types. It has three different types. What are they? Argonautarchy, Teletachy and Amphitachy. First one is Argonautarchy. Male organisms only produced in this type of the parthenogenesis. Example, honeybee. Second one is Teletachy. Female organisms only produced in this type of the parthenogenesis. Example, Solenobia. Third one is Amphitachy. Amphi refers to both. Any sex of the individuals are produced in this type of the parthenogenesis. Example, aphids or bees. Natural parthenogenesis has three different types. What are they? Argonautarchy, Teletachy and Amphitachy. Next, we are going to learn about two main type of the natural parthenogenesis. One is complete natural parthenogenesis, another one is incomplete natural parthenogenesis. Natural parthenogenesis has the two main types. What are they? Complete natural parthenogenesis. Another one is incomplete natural parthenogenesis. First one is complete natural parthenogenesis. Some animals possess complete natural parthenogenesis. There are no biparental sexual reproduction as well as there are no male organisms. That's why complete natural parthenogenesis represents by only female organism. What is called complete natural parthenogenesis? Some animals possess the complete natural parthenogenesis. There are no biparental sexual reproductions. There are no male organisms. That's why complete natural parthenogenesis is represents by the female organism. Second one is incomplete natural parthenogenesis. Some animals has both sexual reproductions as well as the parthenogenesis. That's why which is known as the incomplete natural parthenogenesis. What is called incomplete natural parthenogenesis? Some animals are having the sexual reproductions as well as parthenogenesis process. That's why they are known as the incomplete natural parthenogenesis. For example, honeybee. In honeybee, queen bee and worker bees are developing from the fertilized egg and drones are produced from the unfertilized egg. What is called incomplete natural parthenogenesis? Some of the animals are having sexual reproduction and parthenogenesis together. That's why which is known as the incomplete natural parthenogenesis. For example, honeybee. In honeybee, queen bee and worker bees are developing from the fertilized egg, whereas drones are produced from the unfertilized egg. The next one is pedogenesis, which is always known as the pedogenetic parthenogenesis. Already you know, pedo refers to young ones, genesis refers to produce. Pedogenesis or pedogenetic parthenogenesis is nothing but the larva has the ability to produce the new generation of the larva is known as the pedogenesis. What is called pedogenesis? Some of the animals, the larva has the ability to produce the new generation of the larva is known as the pedogenesis. For example, sporocyst and radial larva of the liver fluke. The last one is artificial fertilization. What is called artificial fertilization? The unfertilized egg is induced by the physical stimuli or the chemical stimuli to produce the complete individual. What is called artificial? Based on the embryo developmental site and whether the animals are lays eggs or gives birth to their young ones, they are classified into three groups. They are oviparous, viviparous and ovoviviparous. First, we are going to learn about oviparous. Ova refers to egg. Pari refers to produce. Egg producing animal or egg laying animals are known as the oviparous. Parous, the young one is hatching out from the eggs. Example, reptiles, birds. And the eggs of the reptiles or birds possess the hard calcareous cell. Calcareous cell is nothing but the cell is made up of the calcium carbonate substance. But in invertebrates as well as the fishes, the egg of the invertebrate and fishes does not having the hard calcareous cells, but they are surrounded by the membrane. The second one is viviparous. Vivi refers to alive, pari refers to produce. Those kind of the animals are giving birth to their young ones. What is called viviparous? The animals those who are giving birth to their young ones is known as the viviparous. When the young ones in the uterus, they obtain the nourishment through the placenta. It is known as the viviparity. What is called viviparity? Viviparity is nothing but kind of the development, whereas the young one obtain the nourishment through the placenta in the uterus is known as the viviparity. For example, human and so on. The last one is ovoviviparous. In ovoviviparous animals, the embryo develops inside the egg, but they are remains within the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. In ovoviviparous animals, there is no placental connections. That's why the embryo obtain the nourishment from the egg yolk. Whereas in viviparous animals has the placental connections, that's why, which is obtained the nourishment from through the placenta in the uterus. But in ovoviviparous animals there is no placental connection, that's why the developing embryo obtaining the nourishment from the egg yolk. For example, shark. Thank you children. If you all like this video, kindly share it to your friends and subscribe in our channel without fail. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for you all.